What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at how exactly Dream beats Serral in the last Dream hack. In this game, Dream actually played a 2-base all-in, pretty much, which is very cool to me because usually Terrans these days just play 3cc builds, they expand a lot, don't really do a lot of pushes, mostly because they think Zerg, is pretty good at defending that kind of things. And what's interesting for me here is that I would actually consider Serral to be the best Zerg player against those type of plays. He's very calculated, doesn't take unnecessary risks. So for him to lose to 2-base Allin, I feel like it must have been a pretty good build by Dreamit, to say the least. So I want to see how exactly he did it. Now, if you do like this type of content, I do make these videos a lot on really good Terrans, looking at their builders and analyzing. So if you do like it, please consider giving the channel a sub, like the video as well, turn on notifications so you don't miss any more videos. Now, this game was actually played in the group stage of DreamHack, I believe. I think Dream did end up losing 2-1, but he did win the first game. And he actually ended up doing the same strategy twice as well. And I'm going to explain you guys what the differences were and what went wrong in the other game as opposed to this one. You can already see at the start of this game that Dream has a little bit of a mental edge. Serral going for the pull first. I do remember Dream actually doing proxy Raxes against Serral, so that's probably why he was a little bit afraid, decided to be safe rather than sorry. Probably gonna make 6 links as well, I think. I don't really see pull first anime without Zerg making 6 links. They used to have a lot of versions with 2 and 4. Nowadays I feel like it's actually pretty much always 6. Now Dream is playing completely standard so far. It's gonna play Reaper Expand, SCV Scout with the SCV from the barracks, followed by a command center here. There's nothing crazy going on from Serral, by the way. Sometimes they actually take a gas and they go for some kind of speed link flood. This is just a very standard pull first opener. 6 link pressure. Oh, Dream is actually going to mine these out. You know what's funny? I feel like everyone does this besides me. And not because I don't want to, I legit just never think about it. I've probably played this map at least 100 times, but I've still never mined that out yet to even check. So the SCV sees the links. I think... Ooh, looks like Dream is getting a little bit fortunate here. Okay, that's nice. I wonder what he would have done if he didn't see those links. I imagine he probably would have gone back because the chance that Serral actually follows it up with a Roach Allin is pretty small because it's Serral. Usually just prefers to stick to his macro play. So here is the second gas already, giving us the signal that he's not going for a quick 3cc. And so far there's not too much to analyze yet, of course. This is a completely standard game. I could have played this game as well so far. Some of you guys will have to, I'm sure. And he's still gonna make a bunker. Okay, this is interesting to me. I feel like against Serral, it would have been alright to take the risk and assume he wouldn't roach you. But Dream is actually just gonna play it very safe. And this is a move I'm curious about. I personally prefer to actually get the scout down. Like, see if there's a roach warren or not. But Dream just wants to be safe, makes the bunker anyway on the high ground very respectable, of course. And maybe I would recommend this to you guys as well. Just always play it safe. Don't take any crazy risks. And now he saw the third. I think the third hatch is what he scouted right there. He saw the third hatch and then he instantly salvaged the bunker, getting 75 minerals back, costing him 25 minerals to be safe. Pretty worthwhile. Now let's see how he does his add-ons. So far, nothing crazy. He does get the tech lab right away. This Overlord is actually in a very tricky position here, I have to say. Let's see if he's gonna swap or anything. Okay, so he's gonna go for a stim and a Viking. One thing you can do with builds like these is actually fake it. So for example, you can lift the starport on the barracks, make a Viking and cloak, and then when the Overlord is done, you cancel the cloak. And maybe the Zerg will still make spores. Because they can't really... Even though they saw you made a Viking, they can't be sure that your second unit isn't going to be a Banshee. Right? He's going to make Viking stim. He's going to be very upfront about it, looks like. How many? Going to go up to 6 Hellions. That's very important as well. If you make like either too many or too few Vikings with this build, or the Hellions, sorry, it's just going to be messed up. You're not going to be able to make your reactors. You're not going to be able to get your barracks right on. Ooh, and look at this mind game. This is actually very important, guys. Check this out. This is only 4 minutes into the game, but to me, this is already by far the most important thing that has happened. The Overlord comes in, and Dream actually queues a Liberator on the starport. And now you would think, what's crazy about that? Well, you're about to see it. Since it's a 2-base all-in, I know how this goes. He cancels the Liberator, and he makes add-ons. Why does he do that? If there's a Liberator on the way, there's pretty much no chance for it to be a 2-base all-in, because the reactors, the extra barracks, everything would just be too late. So Serral scouting that, he probably thinks it's just going to be 2-base Viking Liberator into a third command center, which 90% of the time he would be correct. But instead, Dream cancels the Liberator, starts the reactor for his extra barracks, and there we go. Now, very important is that he actually makes the reactor for the barracks with the starport. Don't confuse this. And the tech lab on the factory. And the reason for that is that he needs tanks with his push. The medevacs right away are not as important, but he needs as many tanks as he can get. Now, I'm going to try and remember this third gas timing as well. This was about 420, I believe, for that gas. Engineering bay as well. A quick tip for 2-base all-ins these days is to not make the engineering bay in your wall. I know it's very tempting to actually get a wall down. You're safer. You can actually move out all your Hellions. You don't have to be afraid. But what it means when you put a single eBay in the wall that fast is that either you're doing a bad build or you're probably doing a 2-base timing attack. Because normally you get your third CC, your extra barracks, and then you make eBay. So they would be a lot later than this. Also, you would make double eBay when you play TVZ macro games. You don't want to be going on with a single eBay. You always make 2, so you can get 1-1, 2-2, trade well. So if you make 1 eBay at an awkward early timing here, it puts out a pretty obvious signal that you are doing something crazy. I feel like if anything, you could actually experiment with crazy mind games. You could play 3CC and just cut 1 SCV to make an eBay in the wall, making them think you're doing some kind of weird 2-base all-in. I actually think that would be a pretty cool mind game. But if you do this build order, try to stick with making the eBay just behind your mineral line somewhere. Don't show it. And that's it. Excuse me. Obviously, he's doing a good job keeping all of his units alive. Now, what was... just about to say it. What I thought was very interesting about this is that he's going for a super hardcore 2-base all-in. Normally, I think you go 3 racks, and then if it doesn't work, you can still transition kind of thing. Dream wants none of that. Dream actually straight up is going up to 5 barracks on 2 bases. You don't really see this against Zerg anymore, but he's gonna do it. Followed by a 4th gas as well. Keep those gas timings in mind, those are very important. And also something that's very notable is how low his SCV count is. Normally, when you're a Terran on 2 bases, you want to go up to 47 SCVs. Perfect saturation on minerals and gas is 44. But Terran always has a few SCVs, making a depot here and there, making another barracks, So if you get to 47, you're usually going to be perfectly saturated. But Dream actually, he was cutting SCVs before, and now he just hard stopped at 44. So you can see with this all-in, he's not even fully saturated on his natural. He only has 13 out of 16 on minerals. So this all-in is even more hardcore than I remembered. And yeah, like I said, this is so cool because we just haven't been seeing a whole lot of this. Serral being the Serral that he is, playing very conservative, late upgrades. Didn't go too crazy on the drones even yet, he has 61. Trust me guys, when you do 2-base all-ins against Zerg, the biggest reason you win games is because Zergs are so crazy and they'll go up to 80 drones, they'll just assume you're playing 3rd CC. Now Serral doesn't seem to be quite that crazy, he's actually making a bunch of units as you can see at 60 drones. Because he has been scouting around with Zerglings, if you go to his vision, you see he hasn't spotted a 3rd base yet. So he's actually making a lot of units here. And now Dream is gonna move out. I think personally, because we've seen this push before, I think Cure also did something similar on this map. Not quite the same build, but something similar. I feel like this is just the map, Berlingrad, where Terrans like to do their 2-base pushes. It might be something with this positioning right here. It could also just be that the map is small and they can reinforce and push fast. But if you do choose a map, I would definitely recommend it to be this one. Because yeah, that's just what all the good Korean Terrans are doing. And then he sieges very slowly, pretty far away. I think Dream probably wished that the rocks here weren't broken. If you find that the rocks here are not broken, you can totally siege 2 tanks up here and it's going to create for an amazing position. Now Dream is a bit unfortunate that his rocks were actually broken. So he's going to have to take it a little bit more slow. And this is basically how you want to play this, by the way. You want to have your tank sieged, every other unit in the back. And then you just want to grab maximum 16 Marines with your 2 medevacs. So you can kind of do some poking damage, go back and forth. Force them to come into your tank line. And then once you have a decent amount of units, you want to reinforce. The reason why you don't just want to rally across the map is because of the hypermobility of Zerglings. If the Zerg decides to counterattack or pick off reinforcements, they will kill all of your units for free. So if you're just rallying 1 Marine, 1 Marine, 1 Marine across the map, there's a good chance Zerg will actually pick them up. And then you could be in trouble. Very notable here too, by the way, is that this build is so all in. Dream has not even started +1 armor. This is straight up a +1 attack timing attack. I don't feel the last time I've seen this. I don't really remember it. I mean, it seems kind of crazy, but yeah, this build, it just hits so hard. Serral stopped at a very reasonable drone count, like I said. But this army is still incredibly strong. How many Marines? There's 44 Marines, 3 tanks out with +1 attack. If you look at the upgrades as well, Serral is definitely not going to get 1-1 in this game against +1 attack. I feel like obviously against different Zerg builds it scales a bit different. Like if they go for double upgrades before Lair, it could be a bit more scary. But for now, yeah, this looks like an incredibly decisive attack. Now let's see how Dream is going to micro this. He has a bunch of tanks. I think he has... Oh, those tanks are doing insane damage. A little bit of mismicro by Serral there. Honestly, that could have made a difference. If you look at that again quickly, I think that actually could have made a small difference. If Serral clicked those Balings... Let me just fast forward a little bit. If Serral clicked those Balings on the right moment into the army, they could have killed all of the Marines right here. Because there was a flank. Look, they're actually going to the right. That could have been a difference. It looks like Dream was still winning. But yeah. But to be honest, guys, this build actually looks awesome. It hits so hard. And personally, I'm excited to try it just because, I'll be honest, I'm kind of tired of the TVZ macro games always. Like, not doing anything crazy, always just going with the same patterns, 3cc, blah, blah, blah. So I'm actually excited to try this. I hope you guys are as well. And I guess it's going to be a relatively simple video. It's a very all-in build. Keep in mind if you're going to use it, the gas timings, the SCV cuts, the mind games you can use. And then you should be able to execute this pretty well. One important thing I can give you guys is that you should really wait with killing the Overlord before making the extra barracks. What happened in game 3 of this series is that Dream actually did the same build, but he didn't quite wait for the Overlord to die. So the Overlord got the scout off, and then it was a relatively easy game from Serral from there. Albeit that was on Pride of All Towers, which is a way better Zerg map. Anyways, hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a sub and like, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.